Welcome back to the Means Report. We appreciate you staying with us, and we want to get right to our next guest. First of all, because we have a ton to talk about with him. Second of all, because it's been way too long since he's been on the Means Report. He is the 4th District Commissioner on the Augusta-Richmond County Commission, Alvin Mason. Commissioner Mason, welcome back, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brad. It's indeed an honor and a pleasure, and I just want to thank you and the Means Report. You mean so much to the community here. You're a voice for our community. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you.
Well, I appreciate it so much. And you know, I'm grateful to see you for two reasons. One, because you're a great commissioner and you have a lot of great information to share today, but also because you're still on this earth with us. There was a scare, Commissioner, a year ago with you. I thought you were just having back issues. What happened?
Well, I was having back issues, and long story short, they were going in to do a back fusion, and when they went in, they found all of my nerves on the left-hand side were tangled around my vertebrae and compressed. A 2-hour surgery turned into 6.5 hours. 5 hours after that, they had to get me up because it was going to be touch and go. They didn't know whether I'd be paralyzed or not. And then as they got up and they had me walk 6 feet over to a wheelchair where there was a nurse, and I barely made it over there. But when I did, I fell into the wheelchair and I said, "Nurse Hope, I don't feel good. I think I'm going to pass out." And next thing you know, I was gone. They said I was totally unresponsive. And that was about 11:58 on June 20th. But right around 12:01, 12:02, I responded again. And back up, and I thank God for bringing me back to a responsive state. And so here I am, and I am so grateful to be here, to be seen, and to be able to see you as well.
Did you encounter anything, light or a tunnel or anything in that 5 minutes?
Well, the strange thing is I did. All I saw was a bright light. And it was so bright. And I thought I heard a bugle. So I thought maybe I was transitioning into heaven with my mom, who had just recently passed just a few days prior to that. But then I heard a doctor asking me, can I say anything? Can I open my eyes? But then when I opened my eyes, I did like 2 or 3 blinks, and I could see 20 to 25 medical personnel, 4 or 5 in white coats, and the rest of them nurses. And I heard them call before I went out, code blue, room 933, all hands on deck. And it was about 20 or 25. And when I came to, they said, "Can you say anything?" I said, "Well, yes. Where's that food you promised me?" Because it had been 12 hours since I had fasted. The surgery was supposed to be at 12. I was supposed to be finished at 2. I wasn't finished till 6. And then it's 11:45 at night now, so I haven't eaten. I don't know all of this stuff has happened at this point.
Right.
So all I know is I don't have my food. And so it was kind of funny. We all laughed just like we did there. But I'm glad we were able to laugh, and they clapped and everything, and everybody was so relieved. And I'm so happy that God thought it not robbery to ensure that I'm still here on this earth for the work that he needs for me to do.
Amen, amen. And thank you for letting me spend so much time on that, but that's important. I mean, it's important, and I thank you for sharing something so personal. Let's go straight to the headline. Okay, this is what made me text you and say, please be on the Means Report. The arena. Yes. We're getting a fancy new arena. We're not sure, at least I'm not sure what it's going to be called. Why? What do you think about this indecision on whether it's the James Brown Arena or not? I thought that was a done deal.
Well, there should be no indecision. In my mind, it is a done deal. Now, whether or not we do some sponsorships and add to that name James Brown, AT&T Arena, or what have you, but James Brown's name absolutely should be on it. Brad, it was marketed and advertised and recruited as the new James Brown Arena. I set up several meetings in my own district, District 4. We had over 500 folks come out to that meeting at Diamond Lakes, and there were pictorials, 12 put on easels, and all the easels showed James Brown's name on the arena. I showed a video at the commission last week that they showed all through these meetings around town, and right on the video it says James Brown Arena, right on the video of the arena. And so this was marketed and advertised and sold as James Brown Arena. Now you must remember we had 3 or 4 previous times where we tried to get a Civic Center arena and so forth, and it failed miserably. But this one passed, and it wasn't even close, utilizing the name of James Brown. So we're talking about we bonded $250 million in Coliseum Authority bonds for the James Brown Arena and some residual renovations to the William Bell Auditorium. Now, the William Bell Auditorium has their renovations, and their name is still William Bell since 1940, and it's 2025, and it's 85 years for a local politician and mayor. No disrespect to William Bell, and I appreciate the job that he did for us as a city, but we're talking about a world-renowned, iconic, legendary James Brown, who's performed for kings and queens and presidents all over this world, and you're trying to tell me that his name will change before anyone else's name? I find that to be a problem.
Commissioner, you made no bones about it. You were ready for Coliseum Authority heads to roll. Are you still angry at the authority, and do you still want some of those folks replaced?
Well, the veracity of my tone of my voice is not really anger. It's real disappointment because they came before us and lobbied us as a commission, and me in particular, several times individually, to lobby me for my support for that arena, utilizing the name of James Brown and my ability to bring out folks to my meetings. And so I was more disappointed that they did not come to us and even having a discussion that the name would be considered for a change. And so I really believe that as a hometown of James Brown, the two things that we're known for mostly is the Masters, and everybody knows of the James Brown. But the fact of the matter is James Brown put Augusta on the map well before the Masters ever did from a world standpoint, or international standpoint. And so we wanted to give him the respect that is due. And I'm willing to do whatever I can to lead that charge. And I'm willing to remove Coliseum Authority members if it's necessary. I need to find out if there was a vote taken. It's my understanding that there wasn't one, that it was made by just a couple of members. And if that's the case, we need to look at what we need to do, or what we need to do from a legal standpoint in terms of a bill of goods, no goods that was sold to this community utilizing the name of James Brown.
Any advice from the city attorney at this point as to what sort of legal route y'all could pursue?
As a matter of fact, I tasked the city attorney to look into legal things that we possibly could do. He was prepared to give that on Tuesday, but we had several commissioners that were out of the net, along with the support letter that we stood in solidarity for. So this Tuesday coming up, we will discuss that in depth. The letter will be shown, the support letter, and then also what courses of action, if any, that we can take from a legal standpoint.
So how does this work as far as, let's just fast forward to a time when we know what the name of the arena is going to be? Is that something the commission has to sign off on to make it official, or does the authority go, hey, everybody, here's the name of the arena, deal with it?
The authority actually can do that. They were set up as from a state statute standpoint as an authority, but the authority came to the commission for us a letter of support for it to go up to a state referendum to be signed by the governor to be put on the ballot to be voted on. And that's but they didn't come to the commission for support to change that name. Now, how they got over a little bit, because on the ballot it said a half a penny for the Coliseum Authority for sales tax projects.
That's right.
But the bottom line is that in the meetings and how it was sold to the community, that it was the James Brown Arena, not just Coliseum Authority projects, but it was the James Brown Arena. And it said the Augusta Entertainment Complex, the James Brown Arena, will be the centerpiece, Brad, of the Augusta Entertainment Complex. Not a side piece.
No, centerpiece.
The centerpiece. And so now if you're talking about changing that name, that's very, very disappointing to me.
You know, we had comment, we didn't hear from a member of the Coliseum Authority, but George Escala did a story on this the other day, and coming out of the story, we told the viewers that y'all had talked about this renaming controversy at 2 commission meetings, and that the Coliseum Authority had not shown up for either meeting. The Coliseum Authority, and I forgot who said this, said, well, we weren't invited. Do they need to be invited to your meeting?
Well, Brad, I found that to be very, very, very disheartening. And that was the Chairman Cedric Johnson who made that statement. But here's the thing. If I state something, and I'm stating something at a commission meeting that you've heard or that you know that's on the commission meeting, and you don't believe that it's a statement of fact, I'm going to be there.
Right, I'm going to show up.
I'm going to show up, and I'm going to want to speak, and I want to get the record straight. Not once, but twice. That would be me if I was on that authority. The fact that no one showed up, I never received a phone call from anyone, not a single authority member called and said anything. So to say something like that is disingenuous. Why wouldn't you show up? Why don't you just get on the agenda yourself like you did when you wanted to lobby us for the letter of support that you wanted to send down to the state and to the governor for us to have this on the ballot? I didn't invite you then.
Right.
You weren't invited then, but you came on your own.
But you still came.
Yes.
I only have time, and I knew there was the possibility we would do the whole segment on the James Brown
that's
Arena,
fine.
but it's important.
It is important.
Couple more questions. Have you heard from any members of Mr. Brown's family? And my guess is they must be sad and heartbroken about this.
I have. I've talked to James Brown's daughter, Dr. Deanna Brown, and she, for one, it was very, very grateful and very honored that I took that upon myself, on my shoulders, to speak to the issue of her father. She's extremely disappointed. Primary Wave gave the authority years ago for James Brown's name to be utilized by the Coliseum Authority, and somewhere around May 25th, the Coliseum Authority gave the rights back and said that they would no longer be needing the rights to his name. Now that's a shame, and so they're brokenhearted, the entire family, about that. And I don't think this is going to be the end of it. If there's something that's not done, this thing could go national or even international, and we don't need that black eye on Augusta, Georgia.
Okay, real quick, Primary Wave, they're the folks who own the rights to Mr. Brown's
That's correct.
catalog?
That is correct.
And they said, use James Brown all you want. And then you're saying the Coliseum Authority said, we don't need that. Y'all take those rights back.
And that is correct. And let me add this very quickly. There was no financial gain by utilizing James Brown to his family. He gave it to him for free.
Just gave it to him.
For free. Because of his love for his hometown, Augusta, Georgia.
Listen, will you please come back and let's keep talking to you? Because
I'd be honored.
I didn't talk to you about District 4, which is important.
Yes.
And I want to keep talking to you about the arena, especially since y'all are meeting a day after this airs. So I'll hit you up again soon.
You invite me, I'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Mason.
much.
Appreciate you. Alvin Mason, Commissioner for District 4, with a great update on what's going on behind the scenes with our new arena. When we come back, how you can help shape future editions of the Means Report and help us get more great guests like Commissioner Mason and like Deke Copenhaver and Derek Dugan in a moment.